Hi everybody, hope you can see and hear me okay, and I have everything set up. It seems like ages since I've done a catch up on a Monday. It's been a couple of weeks. Hi Janet, who is on holiday in Stanhope. Oh, lovely. I hope the weather's been all right up there. It's been very foggy here, so I imagine it's probably been a little bit worse up in Stanhope, which is quite high up. Hi Jilly, hi Sue. Like I say, hope everybody's well and can hear me okay. And I'm coming through loud and clear and I have everything set up all right. As you can see, I have quite a collection to run through with you today. Last month, I got loads of sewing done. This month, not so much, but I knew that was going to be the case because I've had so much other stuff going on. And then obviously I'm going to have a week where I'm not, well, just over a week where I'm not here. So it's really weird because there's going to be a week where I'm not here. It means that I've got so much of the stuff to do that it means I'm just not getting anything done for the month at all. It's so weird, but it is what it is. So Janet says it's raining, but that's fine. Yeah, I mean, we're northern. We're used to rain. Gro says hello from Norway. Oh, hello. Norway is on my list of places that I really want to visit. Hi, Ruth. Hi, Val. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Sue. Hi, Karen. I hope everybody is doing good. I'm going to apologise if you hear me groaning as I move to get bags from behind me. I was trying to work out where to put them. Obviously, I kind of wanted them to be on display, but I don't actually have anywhere kind of nearer where they could be on display. I didn't want to put them on the floor because that would involve more groaning. But I've twinged my back. I don't actually know what I've done. I think it might have been sitting over the computer last night. I was doing lots of sort of sitting, putting things onto the website last night, and I probably wasn't sitting in a very good position. And I think I've just strained or twinged my back. So apologies if I don't look that great because I didn't sleep that well. So yeah, so if I'm like sounding like a little old lady today, it's A, because I am, and B, yeah, because it's still a bit like it's right at the very top here, and I'm like, so yeah, and then I forget about it, and then I go to do something, and I'm like, ooh. So I will try not to say any naughty words. I hope they don't slip out. Jay says Nurofen and hot water bottle. I can't take Nurofen. I'm seriously allergic to Nurofen. So it's paracetamol for me. The joys. So yeah, but I've got one of those, you know, the things that you put in the microwave. It's a little cute. Oh God, what's that animal called? Sloth. And then I've had that on, and I had that in bed with me last night. It's obviously Andy wasn't hot water bottle enough. So I've been having that on. So yeah, I've been having paracetamol, and what have you. And yeah, like Sue says, keep moving and stretching. And I've just been on the phone to Emma, who has just given me a top tip because she does the same to ourselves sometimes. So she's just given me a top tip to do, which I was going to do just before I came on. And I was like, don't, because if it doesn't work, you make yourself worse. That's not good to do just before you go live. So I'm going to give that a try literally when I come off. So yeah, but you know, I'm getting to that age where things start to fall to bits. So yeah, and you know, I probably don't sit in the best position when I'm doing stuff. I do tend to have a habit that I get very focused when I'm sitting sewing, when I'm sitting doing things on the computer. You know, I just want to get things done, especially when it's things at the computer, because it's boring and it's, you know, you just want to kind of get it out of the way. So I'll just sit and get it done, and that's not good for me. And I would tell anybody else off for doing it. I would be like, don't do that, it's not good for you. But I'm my own worst enemy. Jilly says, oh no, keep moving it as much as you can. I can sympathise as I have a herniated disc and find out on Monday if I need an op. Oh, well, I hope either you don't need an op because that's not good, or if it's the only thing that's going to sort it out for you, I hope that they're going to do it for you and they do it quickly for you. Tiger Balm is good for it. Oh, yes. I don't think it's Tiger Balm that I've got, but I've got something very similar. So I'll go and hunt that out. I might wait till Andy comes in because it's in the medicine cupboard, which is at the top shelf. So I might wait till Andy comes in, and he'll probably have to put it on because I can't reach. Jilly says stretch off the top of the door frame. That was the top tip that Emma gave me. So that's what I'm going to do when I come off. But I didn't want to do it in case I did make it. You know, sometimes you make things worse before you make them better. So, which will be fine if I do that once I'm done for the day, because I can just, you know, go and curl up. I've got a lovely heated blanket that my mum gave me, which is amazing. So if it feels a bit worse before it feels better, that's fine. I can go and feel sorry for myself under the heated blanket. But that's for later. Julie says, thank you, me too. Been like this since December 2023. That's really not good. Bee venom cream is supposed to be good too. I shall look out for that. I'm hoping it's just one of those things, you know, like when you've slept funny, you've cricked your neck, and it wears off. I'm hoping it's just one of those, you know, it'll wear off. But yes, I am just at that age now that things are starting to fall to bits. And here I am 7 minutes in, and all I've done is waffle at you about dropping to bits and feeling my age. But it is what it is. We're all kind of the same. We have that hobby as well, don't we? That is not particularly good for aches and pains. So yeah. So like I say, I know that I won't be getting much sewing done in the month of March, because I am away on that thing that begins with H next week from next Monday. So yeah, so there's just so much of the stuff that needs to get done when you run a business. So I'm so pleased that I got so much sewing done last week. I am hoping to get a live done this week, but I'm not going to make any promises. Tracy's found me just as I said the H word. It was as if I put the things out into the universe for you, just for you, Tracy. But then obviously once I'm back off my holidays, there will definitely be a live the week I'm back, because I'm going to have that all prepped, ready to go the week that I'm back. Exactly then. So Judy says, are you off anywhere nice? We are off to Turkey. So we've just been and bought our suntan cream yesterday. So I am, I mean, that might be being optimistic because, you know, it is March, but I do burn a lot now that I'm getting older and everything's falling to bits. So I am going very prepared. So yes. So again, I'm going to share with you all of the things that I made in March. In February, I did have quite a productive February. There are 5 bags that are the same, so I'm going to share them with you first, and I'm going to try and share them in order. So this one was the first Annabelle that I made. As you can probably tell, I'm absolutely in love with this pattern. So I bought this pattern basically the day it came out, even though I was supposed to technically be on a ban, but let's not talk about that. So I obviously saw Kasaya make this up in December when she was making it for her daughter Annabelle for a Christmas present, and then she was talking about releasing it as a pattern, and I knew if she did release it as a pattern I would have to buy it, because this shape bag is the exact bag that my daughter loves to carry. She has a couple of bags that she's bought when she's been away on holiday that have since fell to bits, because obviously they haven't been the best quality. And I knew that I would then be able to use this pattern to kind of replicate those patterns, those bags that she had. 2 of the bags that she's had that felt a bit, I've actually harvested the hardware, and the hardware is actually sitting in my garage. So hi Muriel, hi Maureen. So this was my first go. So this vinyl that is from Meave Bag Designs, and it was actually sent to me by Emma, who got it from Meave to use for this, because it was just going to be the perfect sort of shape, the perfect sort of amount and size. And I just love the texture. Hopefully you can kind of see that, and it's coming through on the screen. It's sort of like a weave texture. It's a lovely weight. It sews up beautifully. It would sew perfectly on a domestic machine if you're keeping all of the stabilizers and everything out of the seam allowances. The size that the piece was didn't lend itself to being enough to have a strap, but my daughter likes the chains, so that was always going to be my plan anyway, was to make a couple of bags and then just have interchangeable chains so that she can just swap the chains around. So this was my first one. I did swap up the pattern a little bit, as I do, and I made the gusset on the fold. So basically my top and my bottom of the gusset is the same material, and all I did was I cut it on the fold and I just took out one seam allowance, which a lot of you have heard me talk about doing on other patterns. That is my preferred way to do a zipper placket, because it means that you're keeping out the extra sort of seam and bulk where this zip is. So yeah, so I used, what did I use on the inside? Oh, I just used some waterproof canvas. I just kept this one really plain, really simple. I sewed it up in about 45 minutes. It was such a quick sew. Jilly's saying, are the chain straps on your website? No, I went on and I bought them off Amazon because I wanted them to come quickly. So they're not the best quality, if I'm completely honest with you. I think Laura from Little Stitcher Sews is getting some in, so keep an eye on her website. But yeah, I did just buy these ones off Amazon. But like I say, they aren't the greatest of quality. But it was just what I got for quickness. I used 1-inch hardware on this bag, and then the next one I made, which is also fabric from Meave, and it was the same size piece, so it worked absolutely perfectly. And I used the 3/4 inch hardware on this one, and this has just got like a little hand strap. It's from the same set. I think there was a set, maybe 3 chains came with it, and this, I literally used the remnants of the cotton that I used in the Sunshine Crossbody. I couldn't think of the name of the bag there, so I literally had enough to use the scraps up. And again, I just did exactly the same with my zipper placket. So my zipper placket is the same top and bottom. So apart from the straps, all the other hardware, interfacings, everything like that is from my website, apart from the fabric, which the vinyl is from Meave. I will try and remember and go in and put all of the links and what have you in the description box. But it comes together so well. The instructions are so clear. To be fair, I could kind of put it together from the pictures. I could kind of, other than looking at what the seam allowance was, I could put it together from the pictures. It was so clear. This gusset just goes in. It's minimal snipping in. It just fits beautifully. I love this strap along the bottom. I'll talk about it in another pattern, and if you've seen my acacia video from last month, well, January, you'll have seen that I swapped up my how I put in the strap in that bag, and I put it in using this method, and I just love it. I just think it's just such a clean way of putting in a strap, and it just looks so classy. I love it. So those were the first two that I made. So then I decided I wanted to make a quilted version, and I had some bright yellow, and my daughter loves the bright colors, and one of the versions I want to make is a very bright green. I'm still on the lookout for some bright green, and when I say bright green, I literally mean like this color green, like that color, because that was the color of one of the bags that felt a bit. So I had this yellow, and I thought, oh, I'm going to make a quilted version. So I was doing my quilting, and I was doing a deb, and I was watching the telly at the same time, and I went wrong with my quilting. But I don't dislike it, I don't hate it, but basically the horizontal lines should be up one. They should be here instead of here. But I don't actually dislike how the patterns turned out. I actually sort of quite like it. The thread that I used against this yellow is the yellow and green thread that came from the advent box, the Studio 77 advent box. So I just thought, because it had the yellows and greens in it, and because my lining had greens and everything in it, I just thought it would go really, really well. Jay asks, is the strap on the pink bag sewn into the gusset? Yes. So yes. So the strap connectors, it's the same on all of them. So basically, you just can detach the straps from them. In the pattern, you can add a handle in, so you can sew a handle in, but I've just made all of mine detachable. So when my daughter chooses which bag she wants to take out with her, she can just put on whichever strap she wants to. So yeah. So this horizontal stripe or stitching was supposed to be further up, but like I say, I don't dislike it. I actually quite like how it's turned out. Again, this has got the 3/4 inch. I actually prefer the 1 inch, if I'm honest, but that's just personal preference for me. The pattern is written for 3/4 inch, but it's just personal preference for me. I think I'm just a 1 inch hardware person. But the reason I use 3/4 inch is because it's what I had. So yeah, but this has got like a real sort of funky spring like lining on the inside. So yes. So although it didn't turn out how I wanted, I was still really pleased with it. My zip, although you can't actually see much of it, you can a little bit on the end, is some zipper tape from a previous bag maker's box. It was quite floral and it was gold, so I thought, right, that's going to go quite well. So then I made this one, and this one's mine. This one is coming on holiday with me, and I've made this one in a navy. It's not showing up great. My camera does weird things with colour. And this one I got my quilting right. This one I wasn't watching the telly at the same time as I was doing it. Although I was doing it when I was at a social get together. So I had to make sure that I was really, really paying attention to what I was doing. But yes, I got my horizontal lines in the right place. So yeah, so I decided I wanted one for myself, and I was making a one in navy, I wanted just a one that was really classy looking, so I could wear it with pretty much anything. I could take it away on holiday with me. So, you know, if I'm going out in the evening, I can put my phone in it, you know, my bank card, a little bit of money, and, you know, any other bits and pieces I might need. I can also take a couple of different size chains. If I want to wear it as a crossbody, I can. If I just want to wear it as a shoulder bag, I can. It'll go with most things that I'm taking with me. Yeah, and then I have actually been using this one. So tell me you're an old person without telling me you're an old person, because I have in my bag paracetamol, glasses wipes, and a Yorkshire tea bag. So that's how you can tell you're an old person. So, and I made this one as well with like a William Morris lining. It's like a water resistant canvas. And I also did this one. I put a zipper pocket on the inside with an accent as well. So I love how this one's turned out. It has got the slip pocket in too, as well as the zipper pocket, and it turned out really well. I think the zipper pocket is, I want to say 5 inches off the top of my head. Tracy says, do you quilt it after cutting out the pattern? No, I didn't, because I only decided to quilt it after I'd cut it out, and I did my usual and was like, let's just see what happens. And it turned out fine. I quilted it. I put the foam onto the pattern, and then put some woven interfacing on as per the pattern instructions. Obviously the foam is out of the seam allowances, and then quilted it. And then I measured my pattern, the finished piece against the pattern piece, and it was exactly the same size, so it was fine. It was okay. But you know me, I'm like, let's just see what happens. Janet says, do you need a tape measure? So for doing the quilting, how I measured out my quilting was with this ruler. This is probably my most used ruler, other than, you know, my sort of these ones that I use most. You know, these are kind of the ones I reach for most of the time as I'm measuring out as I'm going. For actual, like, measuring out as I'm cutting out, measure, like if I'm wanting to use the 45-degree angle, this I think it's a 4x14, and it's a Le Summit. My French is not very good, so I don't know how I pronounce that, but this is probably the one that I use the most when I'm measuring out anything like that. Janet says, my friends laugh at me, but you just never know when you need it. Exactly. And that could be in relation to paracetamol, glasses cleaner, or Yorkshire tea. I mean, to put in your bag. Oh, you need a tape measure. Yeah, obviously. Completely. How do you get the zipper to lay flat as opposed to sat up on the others? So do you mean here? It's just trimming it back. The instructions are so clear. Go and watch Kasaya's video as well. She's got quite a few on our channel, and she talks through like trimming back on the zipper, and she's actually got quite a few tips on the zipper placket that actually I think I'll be using some of those tips on other zipper plackets as well. So yeah, so I love this. And like I say, obviously, as you can see, I've used it already. Me and Andy went out the other week because it was Andy's birthday, so we went out for Sunday lunch and had the afternoon out, and this came out with me, hence why it's got some paracetamol and randomly a Yorkshire tea bag in it. And then my last one that I've made, let me just get my strap onto it. And this is the one that I made on the video that is on my channel, so you can go and watch this one being made. So this is a wool and vinyl combination, and again I think this one's turned out really well. So it just goes to show sort of from one pattern how you can make them so different. Again, we all know how much I love a wool and vinyl combo. It's the only one where I've put the little accents onto it, and I've used leaf print cotton on the inside, which I think's turned out really well. I do love that sort of look on it because it's sort of so different on the inside to what the outside looks like. But it's turned out lovely. I've done a double strap on the outside, and rather than do a chain strap, this has got a normal strap on it. So yeah, but you can go and watch this one being made on my channel. Hi Donna, hope you're feeling better. So they're the 5 Annabelles that I made, but I mean, I think again the fact that I've made 5 shows sort of how quickly they come together. They don't take much to cut out, they don't take a lot of hardware, they don't actually take a lot of material. So yeah, so I definitely, if you haven't jumped on this train, I would definitely go and check it out. So what else have I made? I'm not going to go in order because I can't remember what order I made everything in. So I've kind of been putting everything away. So straps and what have you have kind of been put to one side. So I made the penny. I have actually made 2, but one is somewhere and I don't know where it is. So I made the penny, which is woodland stitches, or what used to be Crafted by Leanne. This one again was alive on my channel. I love this pattern. It's got this beautiful darted front pocket. Again, it's a wool and vinyl combo for me, so it's quite sort of a roomy front pocket. It's got a back pocket as well. It's got a zip pocket on the inside, and again it just comes together sort of so well, all fits together really, really nicely. It was a beautiful pattern to make. Julie says, I missed a bit. Have you made any with piping? I haven't, but I do plan to. Piping's not something that I've done a lot of, and it's probably something that I should get a little bit out of my comfort zone with. So I did see that Kasaya had made one, was it last week or earlier over the weekend, and it did look really, really good. So yeah, I do think making one with piping would look fantastic. And one of the bags that I want to replicate for my daughter, the one that I want to make in the really bright green, that did have piping on it. So yes, I will be making one with piping. Donna's saying my 3rd is cut out, ready to make. Another tweed I got from my D-stash. Ruth saying Annabelle is on my ever lengthening list. Yeah. Kathleen saying gorgeous bags. Do you sell them or keep them? Well, funny you should say that, Kathleen, because I am not very good at getting my bags up on my website, because it's just one of those things. It's just a little bit like what Ruth just said there about the never-ending list. But that was actually what I was sitting doing last night, was taking photographs of everything and getting them on the website. Hence why I was sat at my computer for about 7 hours last night. and probably why my back is in bits today. So yes, most of my bags now that I have available are on my website, other than bags that I've made for specific reasons or ones that I'm not happy enough with to sell, if that makes sense. So yes, so back to the penny. So this was a wool that I've had for I don't know how long, so I can't remember where it came from. This denim blue faux leather came from Abercorn that I got when me and Andy were in Wrexham last year. And all the hardware and everything else is from my website. So yeah, it was a really very sort of simple bag to make. I didn't find any parts of it difficult, apart from when I forgot to put the connector in the bottom and had to go back and put it in the right place. But yes, it comes together beautifully. So I can see me making this one again. Vicky May. I love a Vicky May. I've made quite a few of these now. This is the Vicky May 3, which has got the slip pocket on the back. I have made a Vicky May 2, which funnily enough is available on my website. It's in a green sort of embossed leaf faux leather. But I love this bag because I think it's a brilliant bag if you are wary of binding. It's not a difficult bag to bind because it's just two very straightforward seams to bind. You know, the outer seams aren't difficult to put together. The gusset isn't difficult to put together, like especially on the Vicky May 3. So if you're nervous about binding, make this bag. Again, wool blend and faux leather. You're going to be like, Deb, man, try something different. Like, get out your comfort zone. No, I like my comfort zone, and that's where I'm staying. But yeah, I love this fabric. This fabric I bought a couple of weeks ago. I'd actually only gone to buy some more of this vinyl because I'd bought some, used the full meter like really quickly, and then I was like, I want some more of it. It's beautiful to work with. Went back to get some, and I was being really good. I was literally only going for this and spotted this, and I was like, got to have some of that. And I've pretty much used all of that as well. So yeah, so it what more can I say? I love it. I've made quite a few. I think this is about the third or fourth one I've made now. I've got sort of like a denim look cotton on the inside, and then sort of this print on the outside. Sue says I've done piping before on cushions, but not on bags. Yeah, I think I've done a little bit of piping on very simple things, but a little bit like I've done it like on trims, and that's it. Paula says I love the Vicky May. I made a lot of Christmas presents. Why I only bought the Vicky May 2, I don't know, but I aim to give the 3 a go. Yes, I definitely would. Ruth says just cutting out the outside fabric for the Vicky May 3. It is a fabulous bag. I love it. So that is my Vicky May 3, and I love both sides. I love the side with the pocket, and then, you know, I love the side that's, you know, just I'd probably tend to wear it with the plain side to the outside, and then have this on the inside so I can keep my phone sort of secure and sort of, you know, into me, and then, you know, nobody can sort of steal my phone. Or, I mean, to be fair, if anybody steals my phone, they're going to find out in my bank balance and just a phone camera roll full of bags and dogs. Basically, that's all they're going to find on my phone. Right, next up, let's go with this one. So this one is a dolly at 150%. So this is a bag that I'm not 100% happy with, hence why you won't see it on my website. And the only reason that I'm not 100% happy with it is this bit. I should have put a touch more Decaville inside this part here. But I love this bag increased to 150%. I just love it. I basically think this bag should be this size because it's just the perfect size. Look at how roomy it is inside. It's so much easier to sew, especially when you're on a flatbed. So it's got the pocket on the back. Because I've increased it, I've been able to add a zipper pocket on the inside. There's more of this fabric that I've just been talking about, and I did make a penny in it, which is the one that it's knocking about my house somewhere and I just don't know where it is. But it's also the bag that I added this gusset to. So instead of having the little squares where you sew the strap to, what I did is I basically put the gusset around the entire bag, and I just much prefer it. But yeah, I wish I'd added just a touch more Decaville on the inside of this, and then I also wish I had edge coated this piece as well, and then I think I would have been happy with this bag. But yeah, but that is the Dolly by Swoon, or Make Space as it's now known, printed out at 150%. So yeah, so though obviously that's not anywhere kind of on my channel, I did sew that last month too. And then you will recognize this one from a live last month, which is the Passion Flower. I really enjoyed sewing this one. I'd been intimidated by this bag. I'd had this pattern for, blimey, I don't even know how long I'd had this pattern for, but I've been so intimidated by it. And I think basically, you know, the fact that like these straps come together, I just felt that like I could make so many mistakes with it that it really sort of like put me off. And yeah, I'd watched sort of a few videos and I was like, you can do it, you can do it. And I'd printed the pattern out when I'd got the pattern. So I decided to make it, and I made it before Christmas, and it didn't go right, mainly because when I'd printed the pattern out, when I first got it, I hadn't printed the pattern out properly. And when I'd gone to make it before Christmas, I hadn't checked that I'd printed the pattern out properly. So I hadn't printed my test square, hadn't checked my test square, sorry. You know, I mean, rookie error. But I managed to, you know, fudge it basically and make it work. And it just basically turned out a little bit smaller than what it was supposed to. And I didn't actually realise until I kind of got to the end and my zipper recess wasn't fitting, because obviously you cut that piece, there isn't a pattern piece for that. So I couldn't understand why that was too big until I realised that actually my bag was a bit smaller than what it was supposed to be. But anyway, I made it work, it was fine. So I reprinted the pattern, made another one in the run up to Christmas for my stepdaughter. If you go back on my social media, you will see pictures of that bag. I embroidered the front of it. I was really pleased with that bag. Like, it's probably one of the bags that I'm most proud of. So I made another one and did a live using the fabric from the January's bag makers box. I got this vinyl. I think it just came from Amazon. Wasn't the easiest vinyl to work with. I won't be buying it again. I just find it's really hard to get a nice purple. Did get some from Little Stitcher Sews a while ago, so that's good. I used this amazing, I'm not sure if it's going to show up on camera, but this amazing variegated thread from, again, Little Stitcher Source. I'll bring it over because it's actually on my machine. It's just, and I actually ordered some, so I actually timed doing this live for when that thread came because I knew I wanted to use it. But I was just so pleased with how it came out. I was so happy with how these sides came together. All the inside, I think I've still got my bag to thing it out for the pictures. Is the same fabric as what's on the outside. Hi, Ribbit and so on. Sorry, I don't know your first name. You may well have told me on a previous live and I forgot, so I'm so sorry. Please remind me. I'll probably forget again because I've got a terrible memory. So yeah, it is the same as the fabric on the outside. But yes, I'm so pleased with how this came together. So yeah, that was, I think, the last bag that I sewed. Mona, hi. Yes, gorgeous colours, absolutely gorgeous colours. And I think when I opened this box, I was like, I don't like pink. And I hadn't opened the box at this point, and Emma was like, oh God, she's going to hate it. But actually, I really do like it. When I say I don't like pink, I don't like baby pink. Like, you know, this is for my daughter, so it's not for me. Like this sort of pink, I'm not a fan of. But I do really, really love this. I think because it's got the other colours mixed in as well. It's got sort of like the different shades of pink going on. It's got the purple, and obviously I love purple. Yeah, it just, I loved it. So the pink Annabelle, yeah, this is for my daughter, who is a pink. She is a pink girl. So yeah, so I haven't opened my bag makers box yet. I have been avoiding all of the spoilers. I was flicking through Instagram and saw somebody had done a story. I was like flicking through quickly, so I didn't see it. I've seen Ruan has done an unboxing, so I haven't watched Ruan's video yet. Because obviously I always do an unboxing for Emma. So I think I'm probably going to try and do it tomorrow. I'm going to try and see how my week goes. But I think probably tomorrow is going to be my easiest day. So just keep an eye on my channel and you'll see a notification for a live going up. So just if I do a live, Tracy, tomorrow, don't come and watch. I won't be offended. I know you always like to support my videos and stuff, but I won't be offended, I promise. But yeah, but I am excited. Because, well, to be fair, I know Emma's got the best taste. So, and then my final bag that I made in March is the Mr. Heckles, which was made in the club. In the sew along. So for those that don't know, obviously I run the Bag Maker Society Club, which is sort of the paid part of what I do. So it's a little bit like the live sew alongs, just a bit more in depth. And we did this over 4 weeks. So we really break it down. It's a little bit more laid back. And then so we did and I basically, this one, I kind of really kept it to the pattern. I didn't change it up at all, which is not like me. So I've kept the back pocket the same. But as I was explaining when we were doing this, you can kind of do a replica of this panel and do this panel the same if you want 2 pockets as well. So yes, so this, you'll notice theme. I love wool and vinyl together, and I love green. I have lots of this green vinyl, so you'll see me using it quite a bit. Although I tend to only use it as accents because it's so difficult to work with. It's so thick. I bought it blind. Basically, I saw it online and I was like, I love it, I want it. And then I got it, and I was just like, this is so thick to work with. So obviously my machine can sew through it. I sew on an industrial, but it's so difficult to turn. It's so like, you know, using it for straps and stuff like that, like trying to get it through a strap adjuster, I mean, makes your hands sore. So I tend now to only use it as accent pieces and what have you. But I mean, look how gorgeous it is when it's used on like the base of a bag and it's quilted. So yeah, so this was in the club. We do master classes and have chats and all of those sorts of fun things. I have got new membership turned off at the moment, only for a little while, mainly just because I'm going on holiday and I've got a few kind of different things going on, and I basically want to be able to give my all to the current members and what have you. So there'll be new members will be switched back on probably about May time. You can sign up to go on the wait list and what have you if you're interested. So yeah, so we kind of just do a pattern each month and we break down the sew along over a different week and what have you. So yeah, and then whatever bag we've sewn in that month, I kind of give it away as well to members in the club if they want to put themselves up to it. Jason says, it's your fault. Yesterday I bought a jack. Oops, because I've watched you so much. To be fair, I mean, you're not the only one, because like, you know, I've corrupted my husband. My husband's now sewing bags. It's just he sews them on my jack. But I mean, we're going to get to the point where he's going to have his own machine because we're going to start fighting. Mona says, I love green too. Daughter named Jade. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah. Donna says, jealous, Jason. I don't have space for an industrial. Maureen says, oh, the H word. Yeah, I'm past it now, Maureen. I'm just using it. Sue says, oh my God, you're good. I love my box. Going to make the Bartleby, I can't say that word, Bartleby sling with my fabric. I am so tempted to buy that pattern. I mean, obviously I'm off my ban now because we're past the 15th of Feb. But I'm still trying to be sort of mindful with just going and buying patterns and stuff. I'm trying, if I see a pattern, to not just go and straight away buy it just because I see it and I'm a magpie and I want it. But ever since I saw Kasaya, our sister, and Barb, or Jeannie, I think it's Jeannie, do that trio sew, I've wanted it. I think I'm going to buy it. I'm just at the minute where, when will I get time to sew it? Unless we'll make it the May sew along. We could do that. Tracy's saying I will watch it when you're on holiday. Good plan. Good plan. I did buy 2 fabrics as well the other day. I know I'm supposed to be doing good with fabrics, but I went to a place that was closing down a little bit away from actually Auntie's birthday. What do you want to do today? Do you want to go to a place that's closing down so I can have a look at fabric? I know it's your birthday, but yeah, it wasn't sort of like a bag making place. It was more sort of a dress making place. But excuse me for getting too close to the camera. I got these. You won't be surprised. They're wool. This one, again, you won't be surprised because it's green. But how delicious is that? Boiled wool. And it was like £8. I was like, I can't not buy that. It's like, it should be illegal to pass up something, you know. And I mean, the poor lass was sort of closing down, giving up a business premises. She had nowhere to store it. Like, you know, it was my duty to take some of it off her hands. So yes. And then I bought this one, which is sort of like a petrol blue. And I've got in that denim blue, wherever it's gone, I can't see. I think it might be at the back there. That denim blue vinyl that I've got, in that same type of vinyl, I've got sort of like a tealy, petrol-y blue coloured. This will go perfect with. So yes. And I bought some labels as well, because obviously when I was doing one of the sew-alongs in the club and I mentioned that I didn't have very many labels, that I had to rectify that. And that was actually what I went for, because I saw that she was selling off some of her labels. So I was like, let's go and buy labels. And I came home with wool too. Sue's saying, I've just got a vintage Singer 201K last Friday. Love it. It sews through 5 layers of faux leather, like a knife through butter. Only being able to play with it until I get home next week. Yes, it'll be there waiting for you. It will be fantastic. Mona says, make room for an industrial. Yeah, it is. When I bought my Janome, it was because I didn't have room for an industrial. Now that I have an industrial, because I was lucky enough to be able to shift rooms round and what have you, my Janome doesn't really get a look in. Jilly says, her husband was talking, what you're going to make. The Bartleby sling is what I'm thinking of buying the pattern for. Mona says, what are you going to buy? A cylinder? I don't know. So me and Andy were talking about industrials, because when Andy first started tinkering with making bags, he was sewing on my PAF domestic, which really doesn't see the light of day. I really only keep that machine for as and when I ever do any dressmaking, which is very, very rarely. But obviously I don't want to get rid of that sewing machine for when I do want to do any dressmaking. And he, you know, he created better bags on that than I could. It was sort of like, you've sewn that on the faff, like, wow, that's amazing. And then I was trying to talk him into sewing on the Janome, and he was quite intimidated by the Janome. And I was like, honestly, it would be so much easier. Like, it's so much more powerful. Like, and anyway, he did some sewing on the Janome, and he was like, you're right, it's much easier, like it's much more powerful, what have you. And then I was like, why don't you have a go on the jack? And he was like, absolutely not. No way. And he had a little tinker with it, and he wasn't keen. He, you know, he was like, no, it's not for me. For those that don't know, if any of you follow Andy's channel, you will know he's very open about it. Andy has autism, and he likes what he likes, and he doesn't like what he doesn't like. He likes to, you know, he likes his, you know, he doesn't like change. So I was like, fair enough. If, you know, if you're not keen on the H2, then you sew on the Janome. And then he kind of was wanting to try a few different things, but the Janome wasn't really allowing him to do that. So then he was like, I might give the jack another go. So I was like, well, why don't you just turn it down to the slow speed? You know, we'll set things up slightly differently, see how you go. Now he's absolutely flying on the jack, and I'm gives me my machine back. So I was out on Saturday. I went down to see my daughter on Saturday. I was out all day, and as I was out all day, I was like, he's going to be in my sewing machine, in my sewing room. It's like, it better be tidy when I get back. It was spotless. But we were sort of saying about would need to kind of have a major change around in here to be able to fit in 2 industrials. It would mean losing quite a few things, which I'm happy to do. Like, there's quite a few bits and pieces that we've just kind of accumulated over the years that we could get rid of. That would be okay. But it probably wouldn't make sense to have 2 walking foot machines, it would probably make sense to have, I think, is it a H5, which is just the straight stitch machine that would be suitable for lighter fabrics as well. So for sewing like linens and stuff. Or possibly look at a cylinder that you can have the flat table on. I don't know. It's something we kind of need to weigh up and think about. I don't know. But yeah. But Andy is like a firm favourite of the Jack now. Jill, bless her heart, who is what the Janome is called, kind of just sits in a corner and doesn't really get seen very much. Sue saying, I've named her Blossom as a vintage singer machine. Yeah, so my HD9 is called Jill and Jack is called Jack. How does the HD9 cope with thicknesses if you don't have space for industrial? She copes really well. Yeah, like I use the HD9 when I go on like socials and stuff like that, and there's very, very little I've ever thrown at her that she can't sew. In fact, I can't think of anything really. Donna saying, my Bartleby is half done, just gusset and zip to be brave enough to try. You'll be fine. She's saying she loved Andy's live. Yeah, I don't know whether he did it live. I think he just kind of recorded it and then uploaded it, but it was kind of done as if it was alive, I think. But yeah, bless him. I was dead proud of him. Ruth saying, has anybody bought a Jack H2 recently that didn't have the oversewn issue? If so, please. So what do you mean by the oversewn issue? Do you mean like if it does it keep sewing when you stop? Do you mean? Let me know. Tracy saying, I love my HD9. Just having a vintage singer to keep on my holiday caravan. Yeah, I've got a couple of vintage machines as well, but they just look pretty. Dawn's here saying, good morning. Time change always screws me up. I know. If only we weren't 8 hours apart. Yes, Mona, a cylinder with a flatbed possibly could be an idea, but a big thing would be on how much that would cost, because I know cylinder machines are very expensive. So cost could possibly rule it out, if I'm totally honest. Jason says, I might get rid of my dining room table. That's what we did. And have to eat my food off the new Jack table. To be fair, that's what I do most of the time. I'm not going to lie, I eat in here so much. Like, I had my dinner in here. Quite often when I'm working, Andy just brings my tea in here. I'm so bad. Mona says, cute, Jack and Jill. Ruth says, yes. So I don't have an issue with oversewing with mine, but I have had mine about three and a bit years. I think it might even be longer. So if you ring Tyso, tell them that I referred you, because they might have like deals on. I have spoken to them and they have sort of said if you let them know that I've referred you, they will see if they've got any sort of deals on with if there's any extras that they can give you. And just ask them if they have any issues with that sort of with that issue, and speak to them about it. They may be able to do some like WhatsApp videoing, if you're not on FaceTime. Like, I'm an Android girl, I don't have iPhone stuff, so they might be able to do like WhatsApp videoing, showing you it all working. I don't know how close you are to Tyso. You may be able to go in and try them. I was very lucky when I bought mine. There was a place near me. It's not there anymore. So I was able to go in and try them out. But definitely give them a ring and see how you get on. Sue and Mandy are asking what Andy's channel is called. It's called Bagtism. Because he's into doing bags and he has autism, and he does speak a lot about autism, how it affects him, how, you know, if you've got people in your life who have autism, how it might affect them, understanding it, that sort of thing. How having a hobby and being fixated on it is all part and parcel, that sort of thing. So I managed to sew fairly thin materials on mine, Mona. Like, I can get away with sewing interfaced cotton on mine without too much issues. It can be a bit loud, so it sounds loud when I'm sewing just cotton material. So if I'm sewing my linings and stuff, it sews fine. It's just louder. It sounds clunky, but it, you know, it sews okay. But I don't have any issues with it sort of like chewing it up or eating it. So sometimes if I'm top stitching, what I find is if I start my stitching a little bit further in, then back stitch, then sew, I don't get that chewing it up. Sometimes I forget, but it's just sort of finding those little tweaks. Dawn says we actually turn our clocks back an hour on Saturday night. Oh wow, we go forward on, I think it'll be the 29th or 30th. It'll be the end of this month, because we spring forward in March and we fall back in October. That's how I remember it. Jilly says, got to go off now, hopefully catch a live later in the week. Yes, fingers crossed. I will. What I was hoping to do the victory, but I think what I might do is I might leave that until I come back from my holidays, and I might just do a little bit of a shorter sew before I go on my holidays. Ruth says, I've had 2, and the engineer said the new one he got for me does the same. It's not good, is it? Does yours do that, Jason? Because Jason's just said he's just got one. I wonder if Jason's does that as well. So that when you stop sewing, it does like an extra stitch. Like it basically just keeps going. Brian says, either way, we lost an hour's sleep and I'm one groggy dude. Yeah, I'm foaming me. when it goes forward, I'm like never happy. I usually go to bed an hour earlier so I don't lose my hour's sleep, because I'm not happy when that happens. Yeah, definitely, Mona, if that's something that you're interested in, go and follow Andy, because he's really knowledgeable on it and really passionate about it as well. Yes, like start further in and it doesn't bunch up. That's what I don't always remember, because sometimes I'm a way in a world of my own. Jason says he gets his delivered tomorrow. Right. So when you get yours delivered tomorrow, Jason, see how you get on. And Ruth's saying it's a extra couple of fast stitches. Right. Well, mine definitely doesn't do that. I wonder if mine's got like a model number as well. Like, if there's any sort of like older ones knocking about. It'd be handy if you could find out if there was any sort of old, you know, people had some in stock for quite some time. But yeah, where did you get yours from, Ruth? Did it come from sort of like somewhere local, or have you had it like delivered? As I say, mine came from, I think it was C. Thompson. Yeah, it was C. Thompson, but they're not in existence. Well, they are in existence, they just don't sell. They don't sell machines anymore. So, I've had a reaction to this. Is another reason actually why I haven't done alive this week is I've had a really bad reaction to my wedding rings. Not a bad reaction to my husband, just a bad reaction to my wedding rings. I have really bad allergies, just another thing going wrong with me. But I've actually had this for decades, about 25 years. And I just develop weird reactions to things all of the time. And they can be quite severe. I do have anaphylaxis, so I've got to be very careful. And yes, so I had a bit of a reaction a couple of weeks ago, and I just thought it was a bit of contact dermatitis, a bit of moisturizer or something underneath my wedding rings. Took them off, left them off for a day or two, put them back on. Andy's birthday, when we went out for the day, by the time I got home, all of my hand was swollen, blistered. It's been in a right state. So that is also another reason why I haven't filmed, because it's not been pretty. So I may have to get some different rings, but I am looking at getting them replated into something different. Fun days. But at least I know I'm not allergic to Andy, just my wedding rings. Jason says, I've got several bags cut out ready and waiting to be on it like Sonic tomorrow. Oh, bless you. You'll be chomping at the bit. Oh, bless. Oh, Mona says, oh, yeah, it's been really painful, like really, really sore. I actually did have them all plastered up, to be fair, because it was very unsightly. Sue says, not nice having it. No, especially not when you've got anaphylaxis as well, because it's dangerous, like really, really dangerous. So yeah, and not fun, especially not when you're allergic to what I'm allergic to, because it's quite hard to avoid as well. So, but yeah, but enough of me whinging. Oh no, don't whinge. But and show you some nice bags and some nice fabric, and talk about buying sewing patterns, which I'm probably gonna do. Let's get my phone out. I think I'm probably gonna go on and buy it, and then yeah, we can chat about it in the club group, and we can maybe make that maze pattern if you fancy it. Tracy says, I've got to have platinum rings. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have them plated in. So I was in a jeweller's when I was in Leeds on Saturday, and he was really knowledgeable, bless him. So I think I'm going to hang on till I'm next in Leeds and take them into him, because he was so knowledgeable about it all. But I think that's what I'm going to have them plated in. Or just buy a very plain, like platinum band, and then just maybe wear my rings on a chain. Gonna have to think about it, but it's still quite, you can still see the remnants of the reaction there. Careful how I'm putting my fingers up there, so I'm not giving you all the finger. So I'm still going to leave them off, like anything off them for a little while, but I feel bare. I feel really bare. I haven't had them off since, well, years. So yeah, I live on like antihistamines, Mona, like literally take them daily. I'm one of them people now. I have one of those little boxes and I sit and put my tablets in every week. Like honestly, I'm like constantly. I've always got paracetamol next to me. I'm like, you're like, bless it, Andy. So now he puts up with that. Buy the man a sewing machine. He deserves it. Get him a cylinder arm. He deserves it. Don't care how much it costs. The man deserves a cylinder arm, and then I can use it too, I suppose. So now he puts up with us. Bless his heart. And then he comes in and usually like has to like deal with me post. When he went to work this morning, I was like trying to get out of bed. It's like, because me back this morning, I'm trying to get out of bed. He was like, if you cannot manage the post, he was like, just send everybody an email and let them know it'll go out tomorrow, and I'll do your post for you tonight when I come in from work. And I was like, no, I'll be all right. I'll be fine. And I was okay. But I was like, oh, bless his heart. I was like, that's why I've married you, even though I'm allergic to my wedding rings. That's why I married you. Get a bit of fire ants, wasps, got to take Benadryl. Yeah, I always remember like being like running away from wasps when I was younger and being told off by my mum because like I did something dangerous running away from wasps, and she really told me off and like lost it with her. And then I found out I was allergic to them, and I was like, see, just as well I ran away from them. Oh, Mona saying Texas bugs or even bigger. Yeah, see, that's why like I'm kind of quite pleased I live where I live. Like I'm I don't want to live anywhere where there's bugs that I could be really like allergic to. Susan, received my order today. Well, I think it's my order. Hubby texts me and says your fabric has arrived. No, I said it's interfacing. Educate him. Mona says my kids will run into traffic when that's what I did. I ran in front of a truck. I don't know what I was more frightened of, the truck or my mum. She nearly killed us. She was so annoyed with us. So frightened of wasps. Oh. Dawn saying I had low sugar at the end of my class on Wednesday. Lauren brought me down a nap bar and I had to poke my finger while it was still, oh, such a gem. Oh, bless him. Mind, I'd have been like, nap bar, biscuit. Although I suppose an apple is better, but I'd have been like, biscuit. Yeah, Mona, I was really I can still remember exactly where it was, yeah, and I imagine my mum can too. I mean, I'm nearly 50, and I'm not giving my mum's age away. She doesn't really watch my channel. She won't know, but I won't give her age away. But yeah, it still reminds us, still tells everybody, do you remember that time? And I'm like, yes, ma'am, I do. I'd still do it now. Should still probably give us a good hiding as well, even though I'm nearly 50-year-old. Should probably still smack us around the top of the head like she did that time as well. Janet's saying, what's that white thing behind you? Which white thing? This white thing. This is my heat press. Is this what you mean, Janet? Wait for your answer. I love that when I'm talking, everybody's like looking to see, like, oh, what's that? What's that? I should get like little labels for everything. Yeah, so this is, I've got a video on it, but it's plugged in, so I can't bring it over too far. But it is my 10-inch by 10-inch heat press, and I love it. So I use it all the time. I use it to block fuse my fabric. So I work out how much I need to cut out, and then I block fuse my interface into my fabric and then cut out all of my fabric. But yeah, I've had it now, oh God, probably about 2 years, maybe. I've had it a while. Best thing I've ever invested in was probably, because obviously I bought it and had to pay duty on it and everything coming in. It probably cost me about 100 quid. And I absolutely love it. It was like probably one of the best investments I've made. It was probably less than 100 quid actually. It was about 90, something like that by the time I paid the duty and what have you. But I absolutely love it. But I've got a link. Most of my videos, there's a link, and then because I talk about it so much, they got in touch with me and offered my followers a discount. So it's usually around about 10%. It fluctuates. I think it sometimes depends on exchange rates and stuff, but it's usually around about 10%. So yeah, I do love it. Mona says, on the Annabelle, are you using the boning in the zipper gusset? I haven't, but I might give it a try. on some of them, especially on a one where I probably, because this one is such a soft vinyl, this one probably would have really benefited from a bit of boning, like me. This is such a soft vinyl. It's like, it's beautiful. I love it. But it probably would have sat just that little bit nicer. Not nicer, but like, you know, a little bit more structured. But purely just because this vinyl itself is like, it's so soft and supple. But the others were kind of like a bit more of a structured vinyl, and I don't think they kind of needed it. But I definitely probably will think about giving it a try on others. So yeah, the softer the fabric, it does like kind of kink a little bit. Or I might have, because I didn't use any Decaville or anything in it. Maybe it's a little strip of Decaville. Maybe would have given it a little bit of extra structure in it, just keeping it out of the seams. I think if I was to make another one in a vinyl that had the same softness as that, I would do the same. I would use like a little strip of Decaville out of the seam allowances. Did I? No, I didn't. I was just thinking, did I use Decaville in that one? But I didn't, because that was quite a thick wool. Yeah. So I've been waffling on for an hour and 15 minutes. That's not like me at all, is it? Oh, it's only because I haven't done one in like a few weeks. I've been so busy. But anyway, yeah, I will try and do my unboxing tomorrow. And then I'll try and do sort of a quick sew live later in the week, because I am aiming to be finished for my holidays. Sorry, Tracy. By Thursday night. Because I'm hoping to be at an event on Friday, and then I'll be finished for my holidays at the weekend. Even though technically I'm not going till Monday. I mean, everybody has to finish for the holidays on a weekend, won't they? So, and I mean, I'm not even started sorting out yet. Like, I don't even like know where me plugs or anything are. So yes, I need to start getting my backside in gear. So it's been lovely chatting with you all. I'm excited for Jason getting his jack tomorrow. Excited to find out how that's going. Ruth saying, do you always interface water resistant canvas? No, never do. Never interface it. So thanks, Mona. So yeah, and I hope you've enjoyed seeing. I mean, obviously, if you joined me on the lives, you'll have seen me make them. But I think sometimes it's fun just to chat through all of the things, and then if you want to go back and watch any of them, then you know you can do. But yes, I will see you on another video soon. For those of you in the club, I'll see you for week 2 of the sew along tomorrow. And until I see you next time, see you soon. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.